Welcome back. So our today topic is sampling technique. Now, what are the outline of this chapter? In this, we will discuss about the population and sample. After the sample and sampling, then the need for and advantages of sampling. After that, there is sampling design. In this, we will discuss different types of design or different sampling design, and then the appropriate sample design at the last. Now, we will discuss from the population and sample. Population and sample. A population is the entire group that you want to draw conclusion about, and a sample is a specific group that you will collect data from. Now, the size of the sample is always less than the total size of the population. In research, a population doesn't always refer to people. It may be different things, different group of other things, other objects. We have example like we have population, and in this there are different uh, people, and in the sample we can easily select random people from the population, and through this we can easily simplify that what is the sample of this population. Sampling is a process used in statistical analysis in which a predetermined number of observations are taken from a larger population. So the methodology used to sample from a larger population depend on the type of analysis being performed, but it may include a simple random sampling or systematic sampling. Now, what is sampling? Like a process used in statistical analysis in which a predetermined number of observations will be taken from a larger population, and the methodology used to sample from a larger population will depend on the type of analysis being performed, but will include a simple random sampling, systematic sampling, and observational sampling. So the sample should be a representation of the general population. In this, we have what exactly is a sample, that we have a population, and then we can easily select a very few object or people from the population, and then we can easily calculate the sample, like statistical inference analysis on a sample, and then population after statistical analysis can easily calculate all of them. Now, why sample? Why we calculate sample? Why we choose sample? So it save cost, labor, and time, and quality management and supervision, as well as the accurate and reliable results can easily achieve. And the next step is sampling may be the only way. The next is determine the period of study. So these are the reason that we why select the sample. Now, types of sample. In this we have probability sampling, like we have in and they have different type, like simple random, systematic random, stratified, and multi-stage cluster. A non-probability sample include covariance, snowball, quota, and theoretical. This is the non-probability samples. Now, probability sample and non-probability sampling. Like in probability sampling, simple random sampling, systematic random sampling, stratified random sampling, cluster sampling, double sampling. And on the other hand, in non-probability sampling, we have convenience sampling, purposive sampling, and quota sampling, snowball sampling, and sequential sampling, theoretical sampling. So what is the probability sampling? Like probability sampling refer to the selection of the sample from a population when this selection is based on the principle of randomization. That is a random selection of terms. So probability sampling is more complex, more time consuming, and usually more costly than non-probability sampling. So we have four types, like simple random sampling, systematic sampling, stratified sampling, and cluster sampling. Random probability sampling. In this, each individual in the population of interest has an equal chance of selection. Being a random, still it is very strict in its meaning. It doesn't mean that we are free to take the sample from anywhere. Any variation between the sample characteristic and the population characteristic is only a matter of chance. So these are the example. Now, what are the stages in random sampling? We have a defined population, then develop simple sampling from sampling frame and then assign each unit a number. Then we can easily or randomly select the required amount of random numbers, and the last is systematically select random numbers until it meets the sample size requirements. Like we have population with different number, and we can easily collect them like a simple sample of every third. So we can easily select on the basis of the previous slide steps. There is stratified random sample. Stratified separate your population into groups or strata. Do either a sample random sample or systematic random sample from there. Now note, you must know easily what the strata are before attempting this. If your sampling frame is stored by say school district, then you are able to use this method, like total sample equal to those randomly selected from each school. Stratified a random sample. As a random sample, in this, the first step is we have to define the population. The next is develop sampling frame according to the characteristics that required. And the next is we have to determine the proportion of each population variable of interest. And the last is systematic sampling method can then we follow to select the sample unit. Now there is cluster sampling. For many populations where it is impossible to obtain a list of elements in a large scale quantitative studies. So here there is a successive random sampling of units, like city blocks or classroom in a school, and study all the samples there. The next is like we have to save the time or in money by collecting data at a limited number of seats sites. And the next is sample small sample size, less precision in estimating the effects. Now we have the cluster population, and we can easily collect the cluster sample to clusters. Now what is non probability sampling? Like what is the definition of the non-probability sampling? The process of selecting a sample from a population without using statistical probability theory. So note that in non-probability sampling, each element or number of the population does not have an equal chance of being included in the sample, and the researcher cannot estimate the error caused by not collecting data from all elements or member of the population. So there is types of non-probability sample. We have convenient or convenience sampling, then the quota sampling, and the third one is theoretical sampling, and the last is snowball sampling. So what is the appropriate sample design? It involves with 5 elements like degree of accuracy, resources, advanced knowledge. The next fourth number is national versus local project and need for statistical analysis.